Welcome to Street Beat. I'm Simon Chowdhury. Our focus today is children and seniors. Recent studies show that grandparents play a crucial role in a child's development. Here to talk to us about the importance of this type of relationship is parenting expert and founder of Oakland County Moms, Lisa LeGroux. Welcome to Street Beat, Lisa.
Thank you, Simon.
So we've already said this, parenting is the hardest job in the world, but what happens when you have grandparents that come in? It makes it a little bit easier.
It does, and I think now that we're in an era where people are living longer and there are a lot of families with dual income households or single parent working households, we can really rely on the grandparents to help us out.
Now, what's your personal experience with this? Why do you feel that it's so important?
Well, I see with my own parents specifically, they worked a lot with my sister when she had kids who were in school, and the summertime would roll around and the daycare option was extremely expensive because my sister worked part-time. So the kids would actually go to my parents' house every summer. They called it Nona Camp.
No, that's cute.
And they were excited. I mean, they would go half a week of every summer week and spend time there. And it was neat because the other people in the neighborhood were doing the same thing. They met other kids who were living at their grandparents' homes over the summer times as well. And you develop so many wonderful memories when you spend that kind of quality time with your grandparents.
It's more than just sugary cereals and lots of candy.
Absolutely,
and
yeah,
jumping on the bed.
Yes, they do spoil them, don't they? But yeah, it's a lot more than that. I mean, I think what's really interesting with that generation gap, you have so many wonderful things to learn from grandparents, and grandparents have the best stories. I can talk about my back in the good old day times, but it's not going to compare to my mom's back in the good old day stories. So I know even with my mom and her grandkids, she has so many experiences that she can share with them. She teaches them things like making homemade foods and, you know, tells them stories of what it was like when she grew up on a farm.
You know, I know it seems obvious that it seems beneficial for children, but at the same time, I think it's also beneficial for grandparents.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's like a second life to them. You know, they get to, you know, come out and have wonderful memories with their grandkids and raising another set of children. You know, they did it once, but this time it's different. You know, it's meaningful to them.
Now, I know you have two kids. You said a 9-year-old boy and a 7-year-old girl?
Yes.
Okay. I don't have any children. I have a nephew, though, and I watch how my parents spoil him and raise him, and it's so enjoyable to see. I mean, he's still very young, so you can't tell him the good old days stories. He's only 3 years old.
Yeah.
But it is just so cute. And then he actually is in California on vacation to see in-laws. And my mom's like, I don't know what to do. He's not here. And I just see how it enriches her life. So I think it's really important.
It really does. And I think what's neat is those grandparents come in at the moments when us parents need them the most.
True.
You know, we need breaks. We get to the point where we just, you know, need some alone time maybe with our spouse or a friend. And it's great when the grandparents come in and give us a break. And we come back more refreshed and, you know, they get to have fun with the kids at the same time.
Well, let me ask you this, because in this day and age with technology, kids with their gadgets, their toys, video games, how do you pry a kid who's kind of glued to the TV and maybe the computer to kind of pay attention more to the grandparents? Because I can't imagine the grandparents sitting down and starting to play like Wii or something.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
It could, but, you know.
And it's also natural. I think it happens by itself. When kids get with the grandparents, they have a great time with them. And the grandparents think of these wonderful, real simple things to do, but that is simple fun. So it kind of takes away the gadgets and brings back the creativity and the simple pleasures of life.
Now let's talk about your parenting website. What is it exactly?
It's oaklandcountymoms.com, which is a great resource for moms and families. You know, there'll be wonderful advice topics on there: health, education, product reviews, restaurant reviews, everything about parenting.
And what do you have on your lap right now?
So this is right here from Camp Adventures, which is a company that offers products like music, books, games and activities to help foster that grandparent-grandchild relationship. So they have, you know, different kinds of activities like a card game and a book, and, you know, really neat. You can develop little handshakes with your grandparents, which is kind of cute. And that, you know, just kind of gets that relationship building moving and has the situation where you can create more memories that will last a lifetime with your grandparents.
Well, let me ask you this. The holidays are right around the corner, so you know families are going to be coming together. Do you have any advice out there for any of the grandparents who are watching, who are thinking to themselves, you know what, I want to have a better relationship with my grandkids? Do you have any advice?
I think it's great to get together for the holidays, and I think, number one, it's all about just sharing all about your family. tell the stories about the holidays when you were younger and how important it is to have the kids with you now and how great it is that everyone can be together to celebrate the holidays. I mean, kids love to hear stories. They love to talk. And they love to listen.
Now, how is it to hear stories, maybe your mom's telling them, you know, your mother
That's exactly it. You know, I was going to say, they also love to hear stories about their own parents growing up. So that can get a little scary sometimes.
Do you have any stories you want to share
No,
with us?
I think I'll plead the fifth.
It's always fun to hear that. I know, unfortunately for me, I never actually had a chance to be close to my grandparents because they lived in India and Pakistan. But whenever I did get to visit, it would be so much fun. So I can appreciate the importance of this.
Absolutely. And I had the same situation. My grandparents were in Italy, and I had one set that was here. And when we got time with him, we just sat down and listened to him tell us what it was like. You know, he served in the war, and he grew up on a farm. And it was just interesting to us because our life is so different.
Yes, and definitely the parent story was a lot of fun. I heard my dad getting in trouble.
I heard a lot of those too. Those are great. Those are great.
Those are great. Thank you so much, Elisa,
Well,
for being
Simon.
here.
Thank you.
For more information, visit OaklandCountyMoms.com. All right, well, coming up next, community correspondent Ken Bryant is counting sheep. Street Beat will be back in a few minutes.